I think we can all agree with this one hot take that every European city needs to have a castle. Whether it be a small town or a metropolis, every sized city has a castle in it. So, we have this mountain over here, currently occupied by solar panels, but this is a perfect place for our castle to go. Not only being high up, but also giving you amazing views of the whole county. After moving everything to a different place and flattening the land, we can get a sense of space here. So, which castle are we making? We are making the Royal Citadel located in Plymouth, United Kingdom. So, we are going to start by making the walls of the Citadel. We are going to go off of measurements from the real world. Well, almost, as we will be adding an additional of 5 meter to every measurement just for the safety. To start with, I will take the one-way highway lane, push it to 10 meter of elevation, and then turn on quays for both sides. Now we will start with the sharp corner on the right. You would think that I have cleared this much space and flattened so much, so this must be big. But no, this is not the first attempt making this castle. Previous tries I made it so big and put like hours of time and when I went plopping, I realized that oh, I have made this 3 times the size. In reality, this might look big, but in game with the measurements, this castle is very small. Now after taking proper measurements, I tried again and it was a bit smaller. So I had to scrap that, and now I finally decided why not increase the length of each wall by 5 meters. As a collective, it can get a bit bigger than before. So let's see how this one feels like. I still think this might be a little small, but let's do one more time, yeah. And I think I will end here. So the rest part of the wall in the Citadel is actually a very thin wall, and for that I have a perfect asset for it, which is this multi-purpose slabs and the cubes by Crypto Gamer. Very useful mod, and you can use these to create some amazing things which before was just too difficult or impossible. So we are going to come to the debris menu here and scroll down to these 5 slabs. We will choose this 12 by 12 meter slab, and using the line tool we will make the rest part of the walls. This royal citadel was made in 17th century to defend the coastlines from the Dutch, and the best part is it's still functional to this day. So as you can see, this is the size of the citadel in Cities Skylines 2. Feels a little small, not gonna lie, but let's see how it looks when we will start the detailing. At first, let's set up with the main entrance of the castle. I will use alley road for this, and for now just pass it in between the wall. And to give it a tunnel look like, I will take out 2 roads from here and remake the middle segment as a bridge. It will give me this weird opening here that looks ugly, but don't you worry, cause we have the slab wall with us, and we are going to use the same 12 by 12 meter segment, place it in the middle, adjust it according to the road and change its height so it fits perfectly with the road, thus creating this entrance. This isn't the tunnel system that we have in real life, but it's something for now. Now we are going to start with making the actual citadel. Starting with the left side of the main entrance, in our case we will mostly be using Eastern European and Germany assets to make the buildings that you see here. For these I'm not going to go with height and dimensions of the buildings compared to the real life. I'm just taking guesses which sized asset will be fitting here. And over here in this corner there is a tunnel or underground bunker of some sorts. So to make that I will use Crypto Gamer's cubes, probably the second one, and line them up and try and fill as much space as possible. We are not worrying for conflicts because we are already going to lower the cubes quite a bit. And the one thing remaining now is a closure for the entrance. So for that, I will take a slab, rotate it accordingly, and then place it in its place. And just like that, we have a bunker style system in this game. So this place has a lot of small parking places here and there. Some are pure 90-degree spots, some are 60-degree, and some are your usual parallel parking. I think in terms of detailing wise, this place has a lot that needs to be done. We have all these small curves here and there, and we have all these drainage stuff. I think it is safe to say plopping and setting up the roads can be a bit boring to watch. So while you enjoy the time-lapse compilation, I will share some insights about the Royal Citadel. Before this was modernized and built after the Dutch War from 1592 to 1598, it was also known as Drake's Fort, as a defense fortress built by Sir Francis Drake, hence the name. Throughout its lifetime by 1750s, the citadel was reinforced with many batteries and housed over 100 guns. Architecture-wise, the limestone and granite walls rise up to like 70 feet, and within the citadel lies this great two-listed garrison church. Originally founded in 1371, it was rebuilt during the citadel's reconstruction in 1666 to 1671. And now that we are done with the plopping and setting up the roads, I think to make this look a little bit more convincing, I will go to recolor and change all the colors of the buildings and match them with the real life. White walls down below and dark grey roofs on the top. And after this, we can start with the surfaces. So this whole place is mostly, if not all, of asphalt or concrete. So we are going to use these surfaces. It gives this nice textured finish to the road, and even looking at the real life version, the asphalt that is near to the buildings, it's kind of dark, but then on the road itself it's kind of light colored. So I think this combination is going to look really good. And to merge it or blend it, we are going to use the real vision decals at lower elevation, so around negative 0.3 or negative 0.4 meters, which will blend the both really well. And I think if we want, we could later on also put the light colored ones on the road as well to make it look like it has some texture too. So let's start filling up the whole place with asphalt. For these darker asphalts that are going in areas where there isn't much traffic activity or wear and tear, it really doesn't matter too much which orientation you go. Because of that, we are going to add some more decals on top of these to create some color variations. Otherwise, from far, it will look very boring. As we'll be moving forward with putting all these surfaces and then start detailing, I think we might find out that despite taking measurements, the overall size of this castle might be a little bit small. It could be due to the fact that we don't have the exact size of the buildings, so we just are going on an average size, thus causing the issues. Or it could be that we needed a little more. And I think we are done with the surfaces. We have filled the entire space with the appropriate surfaces. Now the only thing I wanted to test was if we can get away with placing some another or different shade of surface on the road itself, so that road have some texture too, as vanilla ones just suck. So for the start, I'm thinking for a different shade of the surface we were placing. Now here's the thing. You guys let me know down in the comments if this looks good in the end. So from up far, you really won't see the texture details that much. So there are two ways to go about pasting them. Noting the area bucket tool is a little broken. Either we just drag along the surface everywhere with the same starting point, which would make things look a little off at intersections or turns, as the pattern won't be following the curve of the road. Or we do it the hard way, filling up the roads at every segment and doing little breakups at the corner so it seems like it is following the curve, because you can still not make it follow the curve completely, but we can break the corner into multiple pieces so it kind of looks it is changing. And after we do all of this, we are going to blend in both of the surface using that decal I showed you earlier. So again, this decal blends in both really well if you keep the elevation at negative 0.4 meters. Sometimes you have to go negative 0.3 meters, but most of the time, negative 0.4 meters works just fine and helps in blending. The darker side gets lighter and fades off, and then the cracks that are there in the decals helps in the continuity of the transition. Of course, now you must be thinking, well, that transition does not look smooth. Well, yeah, it would have been if we didn't keep the spacing so low. We had to keep the spacing low so that we get more control while placing it with the line tool. So now it begs the question, how are we going to solve the hard transition? Well, we have other decals that, if kept at the same elevation, negative 0.4 meters, and applied, will make this dark concrete a tiny bit lighter, which will in turn add some color variation and not make this look as drastic of a change. As we are completing the surface and the decal work, we can start with detailing. So here's the thing, right? In this build, detailing is a big word. Like, there is so much to do, so many small things which are repetitive, and it's difficult to categorize them separately. So I would condense them all into this detailing category. Mind you, we have still not finished with decals. I have left one big detailing as the last thing we are going to do to make our life a little easier. So let's get into it. Yeah, we are starting with some net lane work. In some areas, we do need a little bit of net lane stuff going around, from parkings to the stop markings, etc. Because this is almost a one-to-one recreation, the details that will go here are also going to be almost the same. If not, we add some extra spice, which is going to add an extra thing which is not in the real world, whether it be adding some flower pots, bicycle racks, or other buildings and props. And these trash bins and other cardboard boxes or pallets also add quite a lot of character to the place. They fill in the empty areas and just make everything look really good. I will leave you with a detailing hyperlapse compilation, and let's join back and complete that last thing. So you can see here we are 90% done with our build. You can see how things are looking right now, and the only major thing that is left is the wall. So for the wall, we have to have some grass on the road that we have to mirror what is there in real life. So let's do that first and then address the difficult task after that. Right now, with the grass, we are trying to make it fill up the space just like in the real life, leaving some gap for the asphalt road, which it's not for vehicles, but yeah. After doing the grass work, I'm going to add some boundaries for the grass. So same good old trick, take the barrier, sunk it enough and line it up to make a great thin curb wall. Now comes our difficult part. So you can see here in real life the outside wall is pretty dirty and looks old and aged. So you would think it would be easy as to just slap some decal, but no, decals don't snap into the quay walls. So after a lot of thought, I have decided that we are going to use the same slab that we use for the thin wall and make it run outside the perimeter of the road. This will enable us to use only a few decals that miraculously work on these slabs. For the insides, I think I will leave it like that because we don't have space to pull that off. And for the few decals we do want to use, I will use a very thin and selective placement of the same slab wall. This is going to be a thing that is not there in real life, but we kind of need that here in the game. I will again leave you with the compilations and do some more remaining detailing in the background, and I'll catch up with you guys in the final showcase. As you can see, we have finished the whole castle, and this is how it is looking for the final. So over here you can see we have connected it. So there is a road that is coming from over here and it flows all the way through and then comes over here, which is almost accurate, this triangle intersection, and then the roads that are going. And I haven't done anything outside of the castle. So if we come closer, then here's the entrance over here, which leads to our whole castle. So you can see basically these are the detailings that we had already done, and then I have also done a few small minor detailings, some of the fallen leaves right underneath the trees and everything. So it just feels a little bit more believable, realism. And then we got the road markings over here, the car tire marks over here, and then some bush detailing over here, then some curved detailing on this small triangle over here. And then we have these military vehicles which are not accurate I would say, but color wise and where they are, it is almost accurate. And then a very faded out basketball court over here, which is also there in real life. And then of course the helipad and some more military style vehicles over here. Then some small corner detailing with the garden beds, then pots, and then this hickory tree in middle. And then here is the church. So I finally found a good asset, and then made the plus sign, and then we've got some window decals to just fill up the empty spaces. And here's how our church is looking. Over here we didn't had those cannons, so instead I changed the detailing a little bit. we added a bit of like high curbs over here, and then we have some trees and everything. And one thing you will be noticing that it seems additional, and that is basically this whole thing. So I completely forgot and I didn't notice that this was also a part of the castle. Previously, I thought this was just another establishment and just another thing behind the castle, but later I found out that this is actually attached. So here we are. We have made exactly the same how it is in real life. So we got a little bit of like naked land over here, and then some buildings alongside, and then huge walls over here along the slopes, and then some trees and a lot of military vehicles scattered, an entry point over here. So it's pretty seamless, I would say, and it looks pretty good. And if you want to just take a look at the high point and just can look and overseeing the whole county from here, you can still like see from like over there, and just looks so beautiful, ain't it? This was a build. It definitely took a lot of time, but I think I'm in real love with the end result. Not happy how some things are looking because of like these decal issues, but you know, we had to have them over here and it was bound to happen. We tried to hide it a little bit, but we just can't hide it all the way. So it's just that the wall thing which is causing the issue, but otherwise I think this castle or this royal citadel is looking really good. So here's our royal citadel, and I hope you enjoyed this build, and if you did, then please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new or haven't already, join my Patreon to support the channel like these gentlemen are doing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, happy building.